Councillor Griffiths.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I totally support your mayoral minute, a submission against the proposed Dubbo City Council and Wellington Council merger. And whilst I can understand the rationale for smaller local government areas in Sydney to be joined together and to achieve economies of scale, I don't believe that that would happen in Dubbo. I don't believe that we would have those, because we will just become a very large, unwieldy local government area. And don't get me started about how long it would take you to float heavy vehicles from Dubbo to Wellington. It would take you about an hour down, an hour back, so there's 2 hours out of the day. And when I hear that Wellington and Dubbo are similar, I always assume that that is being spoken by somebody who doesn't live in Dubbo and somebody who doesn't live in Wellington. Because as the other councillors have already stated, Dubbo and Wellington are not similar. And I say this from my own personal perspective, because my husband and I own a business in Dubbo and we own a business in Wellington, and I can assure you that from owning a business in both areas, both towns, well, one a city and one a town, a small country town at that, they are very, very different. And we also are property owners and ratepayers in both Dubbo and Wellington. So I think I can say with a degree of certainty that the two places are not similar. And when I hear that they're similar, or I hear the state government saying that we're similar, I won't say that it's an ignorant statement, but I do think it is terribly ill-informed. And I won't go on about our differences. Other councillors have spoken about those, other than to reiterate once again, we are very different, and to say that we are similar is just wrong, and it's lacking in awareness of both Dubbo and Wellington. And as has already been stated, one of the main issues that I can see coming from this forced amalgamation is the potential loss of staff. Now, of course, there will be some staff that will go, and we will put that down to just natural attrition, but there will be a degree of rationalisation, and let there be no doubt that that is what the state government wants. However, that comes at a cost, and the cost will be the loss of jobs, and I can see it being the loss of jobs for people in the Wellington area. There's also the problem that relates to the size of your LGA, and once again you'd have residents from Wellington travelling to Dubbo every day. I mean, we have the tyranny of distance out here, and even though it is only 30 to 40 minutes, it is still a long drive. When we first opened up down in Wellington, I was going down there every day, and it does take quite a bit of concentration. It's tiring, and that in itself is worrisome. So if people are having to travel from Wellington to Dubbo every day, it's another incentive for them to leave Wellington and to live in Dubbo. You start pulling jobs out of Wellington and you get people moving out of Wellington, and there is going to be a serious erosion of the community of Wellington. Wellington cannot afford to lose jobs, and it cannot afford to lose people. And as Councillor Walkham said, and I totally agree with him, rather than give us money to merge with Wellington, let us stand alone and say to Wellington, here is the money, we will help you to make you viable, to make you fit for the future. That would make far more sense than making them merge with us, because I can't see there being any benefits for either Dubbo or Wellington. And part of the great attraction of Wellington is the huge community spirit that they have there. It's extremely strong. And it's a great little town. It has its problems, I will agree with you. But amalgamation with Dubbo is not the way to solve its problems.
Thank you, Councillor Griffiths.